Today, President Biden declared the U.S. is back at the meeting of the G7 leaders in England. The leaders are praising common solutions to global problems, but their united front is already being put to the test over how to best check China's ambitions and stop Russian meddling. CBS's Nancy Cortez is there covering it all.
We learned today that the president will not be making a joint appearance with Russian President Vladimir Putin after the two sit down in Geneva next week. The White House looking to create as much contrast as possible between that conversation and the ones taking place here in Cornwall. Repairing alliances one handshake at a time. Today, President Biden met one-on-one with French President Emmanuel Macron.
As we say back in the States, we're on the same page.
All of the G7 leaders came together today to announce a new global infrastructure initiative called the Build Back Better World Partnership. And yes, that is a reference to a frequent White House slogan.
We're going to build back better.
We build back better.
The G7 countries are vowing to work together to marshal hundreds of billions of dollars of infrastructure investment for low and middle income countries in the coming years. It's a move designed to compete with a well-financed Chinese infrastructure initiative in 70 countries that's known as Belt and Road.
I think it's great to have the U.S. president part of the club and very willing to cooperate.
Looking ahead to next week, the White House announced today that President Biden will not hold a press conference with Russian President Vladimir Putin following their summit, as his predecessor did at the last summit in 2018.
He just said it's not Russia.
In a statement, the Biden White House suggested Putin can't be trusted to tell the truth in such a setting. Quote, a solo press conference is the appropriate format to clearly communicate with the free press the topics that were raised in the meeting, especially in areas where we have significant concerns. In a new interview, Putin said the Russia-U.S. relationship has hit a low point.
President Biden, of course, is radically different from Trump because President Biden is a career man. He has spent virtually his entire adulthood in politics. And it is my great hope that, yes, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, but there will not be any impulse-based movements on behalf of the sitting U.S. president.
As the G7 talks draw to a close here, the leaders were treated to a dramatic flyover emphasizing the red, white, and blue. Tomorrow, the president and the first lady will take tea with Queen Elizabeth at Windsor Castle before he flies across the English Channel for a NATO summit on Monday in Brussels.